Hi, I'm Jeanne Collins of JerMar Designs. I am the founder and principal designer here, and JerMar Designs is a luxury interior design firm based in Connecticut. I spent the first 22 years of my career actually in advertising sales, and then right before I turned 50, I lost my nice big VP job and had to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So I decided to make a major career shift and open an interior design firm. So I am here to share with you the 5 things that I wish someone had told me before I became an entrepreneur and started my own business. So listen. So the first thing I wish someone had told me was that you don't need to do it all when you start your own business. Starting your own business, you don't have a lot of money. You don't necessarily have a lot of income either. So you feel like you have to be the jack of all trades and do everything. And what I very quickly learned was that that is not true. So for example, I thought I would be able to design and build my own website. So I went out to Squarespace that has lots of templates, seems easy enough, spent hours and hours and hours designing a website until I got incredibly frustrated because I got to a text box that I just couldn't make be the way I wanted it to be. So I finally gave in and I reached out on Squarespace to find a consultant I could hire to help me. And I found a great guy based out in California, and within an hour, he had my site completely fixed. And so the lesson to me was I had spent so much time and so much energy and effort on trying to do something that I really didn't have the skill set to do. And what I should have done was hire someone in the first place and then spent that time out trying to get more business. The second thing that I wish someone had told me before I started my business was to pick a target market, just pick one, and stick to it. So when I started, I was willing to design for anyone who had any money, who wanted interiors done for them, whether it be families with young children, families with older children who were leaving the nest, empty nesters who didn't have anyone at home either, people who got divorced and were starting a new home, single men who had bought a new home. I was willing to talk to anybody. And what I quickly found was that my marketing message did not resonate with anyone, because the key to starting your business is to figure out who your target market is, figure out what their pain points are, and then figure out how you are going to solve those pain points either with your product or your services. So I had to narrow down my focus in terms of who my target market was going to be. Just stick to one. You can always expand as your business grows, but stick to one. Third thing I wish I had known before I started my business was that it's okay to say no. When you first start out, you feel like you have to say yes to every revenue opportunity because income is income and you need the money. The reality is that is not true. So when I started my business, I was saying yes to design projects that didn't interest me, didn't challenge me, I wasn't excited about, things where there wasn't enough budget to really do the design that I wanted to do, or even people that just didn't really have the right energy that aligned with me. And I kept saying yes to all those things. And what I started to realize over time was that I was filling my calendar with things I didn't want to do. And I was also telling the universe that this was the kind of work I wanted, and so therefore I was actually getting more of it. So what I had to do was take a step back, say no to the projects that I didn't want, and then start thinking about the things I really did want. And magically, thanks to the laws of attraction in the universe, all of a sudden I started to get more work that I did want. So make sure you do say no. It is okay. Give yourself permission. Fourth thing I wish I had known before I started my business: hire a bookkeeper from day one. I considered myself to be pretty tech savvy and felt like I could handle QuickBooks and I could figure out how to run my own business and do the finances on my own business. And when I started out, it worked out pretty well in the beginning. But then as I started to grow and get more business, and then I started to have payroll, I started to get notices from the state with penalty fees, notices that I wasn't filing my taxes correctly, notices that I had missed filing taxes altogether when it came to workman's comp and other variety of things I don't even know. So I went out to Upwork. I found a consultant who was a bookkeeper who was able to help me fix my books. So the number one lesson is nothing is more important than having the finances of your business in order from day one. So hire a bookkeeper. And the fifth thing I wish someone had told me before I started my own business was that I was going to be happier than I ever thought I possibly could be. And I thought I was pretty happy when I worked in corporate America. But what I realized after I left that job was how much stress I was under, both emotionally and physically. And when I left that job, there was like a physical weight that got lifted from my shoulders. And all of a sudden, I started to feel lighter and I started to feel better physically and emotionally. And I couldn't believe how much stress I must have been under to have that weight over me. Now, being an entrepreneur and running your own business is filled with stress, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. However, it's my stress. I own that stress. I get to dial it up, dial it down. So I have control over my stress. And I also never realized how happy I was going to be by feeling like I get to give back, by being able to improve people's lives and make their lives better through their environments and their homes, which is the number one most important thing for most people. I actually get to give back and bring joy to people and peace to people. And I never realized how much my job was going to be able to give back to me now versus what it did before. Thanks for listening along to the 5 things that I wish I had known before I started my own business and started my interior design firm. If you'd like to learn more, feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's available on Amazon. It's called 2 Feet In, Lessons from an All-In Life. And it's my memoir. It's where I share a roadmap to how you too can live your best life. Thanks for listening. Bye.